So, Megatron managed to achieve victory over planet Earth? Yes, finally, Megatron and his Decepticons succeeded in gaining power over the planet that the Autobots had been fighting for. One of the most intense stories is presented in this title. IDW's All Hail Megatron is probably one of the most popular Transformers comics around, released in 2008 by Shane McCarthy and Guido Guidi. This comic can be one of the best jumping points for those who want to dive into the world of Transformers. The story begins with footage of the war that has been fought for a long time by these two factions, between the Autobots and the Decepticons, the civil war that occurred on Cybertron, which then brought them, and the war they started out of their home, which is now only rubble. The war carried that far across the galaxy, to our planet Earth, making the Earth the new war arena for this smart robot race. 1 year later on Earth, everything seemed normal and calm on one of the roads, until Long Haul, one of the Constructicon members, came and almost hit some road users. There is also Mixmaster and Scrapper on the other side of the road. One of the humans approached Long Haul and started cursing. He thought it was an ordinary vehicle doing reckless things. But no. Long Haul transforms into his robot form, and the human just sits there unable to do anything. Scrapper, Long Haul, Mixmaster, Hook, Bone Crusher, and Scavenger, all members of the Constructicon in their robot forms, stood among the humans who were amazed by what they were seeing. Some said they were props from a movie, and some even wanted to get photos of the 6 Constructicons. Scrapper began to say, "Humans of the Earth, we come in peace. We come to you with a message of unity, cooperation, and goodwill among our races. Ours is a message of goodness." After Scrapper said such gentle and calming words, the other Constructicons laughed at it and felt how ridiculous it was. And then, all of a sudden, they started launching attacks on the humans, shooting them with deadly weapons, destroying roads, cars, and buildings. The humans ran to save themselves in fear and confusion, not knowing what had suddenly happened. In the same confusion, Mixmaster said, "The structure here is very strange. Everything looks and feels weak, very weak." In the midst of this situation came the Seekers, the elite airborne troops of the Decepticons, Starscream leading the way in front. Skywarp and Thundercracker transform and create chaos in the process. Starscream, looking very confident and full of cockiness, said, "Look at them all running. Our presence brings terror to them all." To which Skywarp then replied, "You want to see terror? Just wait until Megatron gets here." To which Starscream of course responded with jealousy, as he started shooting around him, saying, "Fear, terror, I am the expert in all of that, and not Megatron." Then a different presence appeared, another huge figure that shook the ground. Evil, cruel, scary, terrorizing. Everything that was just mentioned by the Decepticons finally appeared in one figure, the one and only Megatron. Starscream said, "A pleasure. It's rare to see you on the front lines so soon. Our plan went perfectly, this destruction." Before Starscream could finish his words, Megatron coldly said, "Destruction? As usual, Starscream. You always talk big, when everything about you is small." As Megatron fires his fusion cannon and destroys an entire building in just one shot. Elsewhere, at a military base to be precise, the pilots were running around getting ready to fly. One of them, Andy, called his partner, DJ. "Wait," Andy said. "Thank you for what you did to the other soldiers earlier." To which the DJ answered confidently, "Come on. Save the country from a mechanical terrorist in Times Square." It's easy to get the other comrades excited for that. "Do the best you can, Andy, and lead us towards these creatures," said DJ loudly. They were very confident in carrying out the mission they were given, leaving and flying in one squadron, preparing to face this big mechanical terrorist. Very little do they know that what they are facing is not at all like what they imagined. It's really not like what they imagined. Meanwhile, the Decepticons gather. You can see Astrotrain and the Insecticons are also there. Soundwave reported, Megatron, enemy aircraft approaching, coming from south by southeast. The planes from the human military were getting closer, estimated to arrive within a minute. Starscream was on alert, giving orders to his seekers. Skywarp and Thundercracker prepared to transform and launch themselves to attack the human fighter squad, until Megatron said something surprising. Hold on. Leave them alone. Let them come. At the moment when the humans were getting closer and ready to attack, they were shocked by what they saw before their eyes. Good grief. They're really real. I can't believe they're actually real. They're not just a hoax. One of them began to sound doubtful, afraid, and felt threatened. Prepare to fire, an order from one of the humans. Missiles were launched. All human military aircraft had launched their attacks, intending to rain missiles on the Decepticons. But none of the Decepticons were afraid. They remained silent, remained where they stood, remaining firm and proud. Megatron issued a command, Soundwave, if you will. Suddenly the missiles fired by the humans changed direction, erratically, and none of them managed to hit the Decepticons. Megatron laughed, seeing the efforts the human had made to try to take him down, only to fail. The human said in panic, "What is that? What happened? I've locked on my target." The other humans didn't believe it either. They tried again by changing their attacks, trying to rain down the Decepticons again with endless bullets. The Decepticons remained silent, standing where they were without moving an inch. The humans were starting to get frustrated. None of the attacks they carried out could have any meaningful effect on their targets. Amidst the confusion, they asked each other questions. Anders, what exactly is that creature? Are they controlled? Or what? On the other hand, Anders or Andy looked stunned, unable to do anything. Seeing the group of robots still standing strong, he could only say in resignation, "God help us." Immediately, Megatron, the leader of the Decepticons, began his command, "Decepticons, the humans have had their chance. Now, finish them." Soundwave, Insecticons, Seekers, and Constructicons launched their attacks. Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp began to destroy and ravage the human military aircraft. One by one, the aircraft began to be destroyed and crashed. The Seekers were no match for these humans. Skywarp is trailed by one of the human shuttles, piloted by DJ. Trying to take down Skywarp, DJ locks on his target, preparing to launch an attack on Skywarp. However, Skywarp transforms, changes to his robot mode, and maneuvers backwards, facing the direction of DJ's plane, and boom! With one shot, Skywarp managed to bring down the plane. I got hit. I lost the machine. Lose control. Unlucky da. DJ started to fall and couldn't control his plane after being shot by Skywarp. DJ didn't think that the creatures could transform, and one of them turned into a fighter plane. Something unexpected. Something they never imagined before. DJ was ready to meet the end of his life. Andy kept calling via radio, trying to check on his colleague's condition. However, DJ had given up, saying goodbye to his wife in a photo he always carried with him. His ship was getting closer to the surface, or more precisely getting closer to Megatron. Right in front of Megatron. Megatron prepared to finish off what was coming towards him. "How dare you? I am Megatron! Megatron said powerfully, and immediately DJ's plane shattered and hit Megatron's metal body. Andy saw his friend's plane explode, and unable to do anything in front of Megatron, Andy's plane was followed and shot at from behind by one of Soundwave's cassettes, Laserbeak. Also helpless, Andy's plane was hit and began to lose control. In his final moments, he saw Megatron walking proudly, scary and full of terror amidst the destruction that had been created by his Decepticons. Megatron laughed, satisfied, and feeling victorious over planet Earth, which he had begun to slowly destroy. Meanwhile, on planet Cybertron, Prowl walked into a ruin. He walked past the other Autobots there. Wheeljack, Mirage, Trax, Trailbreaker, Bumblebee, Ironhide, Cliffjumper, Sunstraker, and Sideswipe. Everyone seems to be there. Prowl continued walking with a report. In front of him, Jazz was waiting. Jazz received the report that Prowl brought, and looking displeased with what he saw, in a fit of anger, and perhaps desperation, Jazz threw the report away. Prowl was standing right behind Jazz, looking at his partner, who was starting to look frustrated with the situation. Not far away, Prowl looked back and saw Optimus Prime, who was lying there and unconscious. And that is the end of Issue 1. A start that was quite tense and raised many questions. Megatron finally managed to control Earth and humans, while the Autobots were stranded on their own planet and couldn't do anything. With the fall of Optimus Prime, Jazz and Prowl began to look concerned about the situation that was happening to their faction, like losing direction and not knowing what to do. Thank you for watching the summary of Issue 1 from All Hail Megatron storyline. Wait for the continuation in the summary and explanation of Issue 2. See you next time.